Hey, 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 stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the Rocket City Network. Today, we will be recapping a classic movie. That movie is Lean On Me. LaMarcus, man. Hey, you know
Hey,
we talk about this movie all the time, man.
hey, that's a straight classic. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I think of Morgan Freeman, I think of two movies:
Yeah,
Lean on Me, Shawshank Redemption. But that Lean on Me, it hit, man. It hit. So that's what I be watching, man.
definitely, man. Definitely, man. He told Sam's, man, you got to get it together because you smoke crack. You smoke
Hey,
crack.
hey, you might as well just jump.
Hey, you know he should have. He should have. Nah. He turned to be pretty good. So, the movie came out 1989. We were both very young.
Yeah,
We weren't in high school yet. Um, I loved it because it was like the part in time in Black cinema where a lot of our stories were starting to be told, right? But before that, the decade before that, Black exploitation told our stories. But I just love the late 80s, early 90s. You got the New Jack Cities, you got the Lean On Me's, you got the house parties, all that good stuff. Um, what was one of the scenes that stuck out to you?
man, it's a lot of them, man. I think one, your boy Kid Ray, he was trying to live that trap life, man, and yo, Mr. Clark straight up told him, hey, look, son, you're gonna be dead in a year, man. You're gonna be
Yeah.
dead in a year doing what you do. And and there's a lot of ones. And it shows you how, certain school systems, the students are faced with different things in their personal life. And it's another obstacle with them trying to learn within the classroom. So I think one young lady in the show where Mr. Clark taught her,
Mm-hmm.
when she was younger, and her mother kicked her out the house. So she's sitting there trying to figure out where to live and still get her schoolwork done. That's crazy. And a lot of people don't think, you know what I'm saying? They don't think about that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hurdles and stuff on them. But I mean, there was a lot of messages within the movie. And I mean, it was a great movie.
Yeah, that was the guy that said, Mr. Clark don't play.
Yeah. Exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know for me, one of my favorite scenes was when he had them all on stage in the beginning, and he basically expelled them all.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was just so much just ruckus just going on in that scene. And as an administrator, I don't see how they could actually teach or have some kind of grasp of discipline on that school. And of course, we're going to have some teachers hop on later on. But what do you think about that scene? Because there was one guy, he said he's joining the Air Force.
Yeah.
He was getting kicked out of school, but he said he was joining the Air Force. I guess back then they would take anybody.
I guess. But it's sad because I mean, you look at the administration and how it was portrayed. Like you got to think about it, man. The inmates that run the asylum.
Oh yeah. Welcome to the jungle.
so think about it, man. Think about it like this, man. For all the parents out there, this guy, children of age going into high school, can you imagine sending your child to somewhere like that to go to school? I mean, and you got to constantly worry about their safety, let alone them getting an education, in an environment like that. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I think the movie pointed out, like, hey, look, some school systems are like this, and not just showing, okay, how I can come in here and turn the school around, but it just shows you, it's different environments,
Yeah.
and people have to go through different things. When it comes to education, I mean, when you get an education, man, it should be in a good environment, a safe environment, to where all you got to do is show up and learn. right? And not
Yeah.
worry about, okay, am I gonna get my head busted in today, or you know what I'm saying, or all the things that was going on and everything else that goes on in these different schools. So I mean, I think it highlighted a lot of that stuff.
And when I watch that movie over and over, I wonder if the kids know that their school is horrible or that it's bad. You know,
Now, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
you don't know unless you experience something else. So there
yeah,
would be no way for you to really know unless you were in a different system.
yeah, definitely. Because so you and I, we went to one of the most notorious schools, high schools in Huntsville, Butler High School.
Yeah.
And before I went to Butler, because I went to Butler, I started there in 96, 97 school year. And before that, we heard so many stories about Butler being crazy. Butler having, freshman Friday, they dumping kids into the trash cans, they locking them in the lockers. I didn't see none of that. But now
I ain't
I
either.
did see. You said you did?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah. But now I did see two kids get to fighting over a spades game on the second day of class.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was wild. And these kids were from the Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it was Arsenal kids. Yeah, so it's one of those things where did they know that they were living in the jungle? Like that song, "Welcome to the Jungle." Did they know that that school was that bad, or was it just like regular, everyday life?
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
make a good point. It could be I don't know. It just depends. You don't know what schools they were cycled from. So I mean, it just
yeah,
depends on where you were going before you made it there. So I mean, some it could have been normal, and some it could have been like, oh, yo, what is this? Like, I've never seen nothing like this.
yeah. The first scene, it starts off with a younger Mr. Clark, and he was at Eastside High School, and the class he was teaching was nothing but white kids, and it was a pro-black type of class
Yeah.
because he was hitting them with gems, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is 1967. You had they're basically in the center of the beast when it comes to the civil rights movement, and he was
Right.
teaching them that. He was wearing a dashiki. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if it was made in Taiwan, but it was a dashiki.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and then of course they kind of removed him. They kind of said he was too radical when it came to the teachers union, and so he spent years in the middle school system. It looked like, or the middle schools, and then that's when the new East Side was about to be taken over by the state. That's when they try to hire him in because he was their last hope.
Yeah.
And then when he got there, crazy graffiti on the wall. Man, that is wild.
Bro, I'm telling you something, man. When you take over something like that, it's bad when you got to make Candyman your head of security.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was his avenging angel, wasn't he? He was his This is my avenging angel.
That's what they called him, didn't he?
This is my new Dean of Security, Mr. William Wright. He will be my avenging angel as you teachers reclaim the halls. This is an institution of learning, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't control it, how can you teach?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I like the scene where, like that very scene where he was going in and saying, hey, Pastor Williams, you're the new janitor, and I want this place spick and span and have the kids from detention. They're gonna help you out. They're gonna clean the school up for once. And so he was shaking it up, and they had a problem with that.
Reverend Slappy.
Yes, sir.
You are now the chief custodian, Reverend Slappy. You will scour this building clean. Graffiti goes up, it's off the next day. Is that clear?
Yes, sir, the very next day.
Detention students can help you. Let them scrub this place for a while. And tear down those cages in the cafeteria. You treat them like animals, that's exactly how they'll behave.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they wanted to go by the status quo, but I mean, that wasn't working. So, I mean, you can't go, well, I'm going to go with the way y'all been doing it. It ain't working.
Yeah,
so
no. Yep.
So when he come in there and he say, look, if y'all had it figured out, I wouldn't be here, would I?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I wish we had our educators on now so they kind of tell us how that would actually work. With that same situation at a school they've been a part of or when they're currently at. Because I don't know all the, I don't know all the ins and outs when it comes to the school system and the administration and how that works. But like my man came in there and he had a goal. I got to get, I got to get the school back on track. And what's so crazy, they was having problems with the basic skills test, man. So I mean, you at the high school level and you don't have the basic, skills. It's like crazy. So you really got to turn that around, like by any means. So I know in the movie a lot of people didn't agree with his tactics, but hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get it back on track.
That was a minimum basic skills test. That means they can hardly read.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He wasn't playing no games. I mean,
nah, he was an HNIC. You know, self-explanatory. And I think that's one of the things, right? He saw that it was going downhill, and he had to make drastic changes, right? You can't solve extreme problems with moderate solutions. Right. That's why he had to hire that. He had to discipline that football coach. Hire the assistant. And he demoted. Dude was like, I took the demotion. I'm doing my job.
My man he was real, man.
Yeah. He was like, you gonna give me the goddamn respect that I deserve, or I'll kick your black ass.
Mr. Clark, just what was that all about?
Said no one moved during the singing of the school song. Now, if you can't understand that, find yourself another place to work.
I was picking up a piece of paper.
They contradicted me in front of my students.
They're my students.
They are my students, Mr. Darnell.
Just what are you trying to prove? I'm working my ass off for you. Took the demotion. I'm doing my job. And you're just getting your rocks off by treating me like trash.
No, sir. That's what you were picking up.
God damn it! You give me the goddamn respect you would damn well want yourself, or I will kick your black ass!
You are suspended, sir. As of right now. Get out!
Oh, my God. What is going on?
Mr. Darnell is suspended indefinitely.
So
he told him up front, don't nobody move.
Yeah. You pick up the piece of paper while we singing the alma mater. Yeah. Go to my office. Hey man, it was just so many gems in there. I know you mentioned Sam's earlier, man. I kind of liked his growth because he was a young knucklehead. When we were seniors, we all knew that ninth grader who was like trying to hang out with the older kids, and you knew like, his high school experience is going to be defined in the first 6 months.
But check this out though. This was so crazy about it though, right? If you pay attention, right, he go back crying to Mr. Clark saying he can't tell his mother and father he got kicked out of school, right? So my thing is, it seems like he had parents that want him to go get that education, right? But my thing is he got caught up in the trap. You know what I'm saying? With his peers trying to keeping up with what they doing. So my thing is, he get kicked out of school, and the first thing he tell him, I can't tell my mother and father I got kicked out of school. So
yeah, because and then he said his dad didn't live with him or something like that too.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so he talking about more so his mother or whatever. So my bad. I think not his father, but his mother. So his mother cared about his education. Yeah, in somewhat way. And so my thing is, you got people like that where they may have both parents that care, or maybe one parent that care, coming from a single family. Yeah. But when you go to a school like that, you get caught up, man. You get caught up. And so, but it's just how it is.
And did you notice how like that he had that PTA meeting the first day, right? Did you notice how split that room was? Some parents were mad that he kicked out those kids. Yeah. And then some were like cheering him on, like, hey, do your thing, Mr. Clark. We love that sermon that you gave. Right, but my thing is this, that one lady, right? I don't know whose mom she was. They really didn't disclose that in the movie. Right. For some reason, I always linked her to that drug dealer. That was his mom. I know it probably wasn't.
The one that bald head.
Yeah, going to the Air Force. Go to the Air Force, man. You know, yeah, the one that beat up Kid Ray.
I always thought that too.
Yeah. And the thing is, she was so passionate about getting rid of Mr. Clark or keeping him in check. But why wasn't she, you know, passionate about her son going to school and do what he has to do? Just like Mr. Clark said, you know, spend extra time with your kid, you know, make sure that they're turning in their work, you know, all that good stuff. But it's like us as a people, sometimes we're so reactive, right? And you see it in Huntsville. And I can't wait till the administrators finally come on to the show. You know, I'm gonna start calling them out. I ain't gonna do that right now. But one of those things is like in Huntsville, right? More parents will go to the basketball games than the PTA meetings, the science fairs, you know? So it's just wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah, fortunately, it's like that, man. You got more people that will go to the sporting events versus, you know, figuring out what's really going on within the school. Like, I remember one time they sent these letters to the house or whatever, right, doing graduation exam prep. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, my parents got the letter. Hey, yo, they made sure I went. And when I got to the prep, guess how many people were there? Just two. About
two. Are you serious? Out of how many high school seniors?
Well, I did this when I was, I think I might have been a junior. I was a junior, so I think. But it included seniors too. So I guess I don't know. We were 5A at the time, so I don't know. I can't really think of a number, but I mean, it was kind of sad there was only two. But within the prep, man, I got everything I needed to like pass those exams, man. So it's crazy, man. So I mean, but like we get upset of things that we could have done. Right, but then they don't play out like we want them to, and then we get like angry, right? When we could have taken care of them, but then we're like in denial, like, and then try to place the blame on something else.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
When you know all you had to do was like read what it said, and you could have got everything you needed to get to a different level. But I don't know, man. I think that's just how it is across the board.
Yeah, and I know we can't dismiss the fact that if you live in a certain economic state or poverty level, and you're in a economically depressed area of the city, I mean, the schools shouldn't suffer. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're going to have more kids who are on free lunch programs and more kids with different economic backgrounds than say like I hate to say it, but the white areas. Or the wealthier areas, I should say, you know, because there's a lot of white students who have to go to poor, I wouldn't say poor schools, but schools in poorer areas of the city. We do have to take that into consideration, you know, as far as like, and I'll wait till the administrators kind of get on and I'll dive into it more. But if you don't have the necessary tools, you're going to feel like you're inferior, and you will, and you won't. What's the correct phrase? You won't try to strive to be the best you. Or maybe the best you is maybe only reading at a 10th grade level when you're a senior, unfortunately. You know.
Yeah, I can see that somewhat. But like it goes back to like when you mentioned tools, right? So it'd be more so on the line of, have you seen other tools? Do you know there's better tools out there? If you're only working with the tools that you know and you see, then it kind of puts you in the same mind. Okay, I can do this, but this is what I got to do to get there. You not knowing, but just imagine if you had those other tools, what you could do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. But they, like I think the movie hit on a lot of things, man. And I think there was one scene in there where there was a young lady. She they had her taking home economics, and she was like, "Look, I take care of all my little brothers and sisters, man. When we get home, I cook their meals and everything before my mama get off from work, and she don't get off from work until like maybe 7-8 o'clock at night. So you know, I'm cooking the meals, getting them ready. So why I need to take something that, you know what I'm saying, that they can make me some money outside of you know what I'm saying, outside of here, because I already know how to do that. And but yeah, man. So it's I think it's a classic movie, man. It's one of those movies to me that never gets old.
Nah, it doesn't. And that young lady, I think she wanted to be in auto shop.
Yeah, yeah,
And so once Mr. Clark found that out, he was like, "Hey, auto techs make $15 an hour." And this is
Right.
when this is in 1989, where $15 an hour was probably like $25 an hour.
Yeah.
Today in today's money. So that's still some good change or whatnot.
Yeah.
I
And
it was, man, go ahead.
And that goes to like hearing out the students though, because I mean somebody else would have heard them like, no, you're gonna stay in home economics.
Yeah.
Because that's the norm. Versus let me listen to your story and figure out, what kind of environment you coming from. And I like, I understand. You could be teaching home economics to our students.
Yeah,
I need
very
to get
well.
you in this. I need to get you in this so you can get a skill or a trade or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that was, it's in that movie, man. Like I said, it never get old. It never gets old.
Nah. Another powerful scene was just seeing the growth. As he was turning around that school, there was a countdown to when they were all going to take that test, and you saw the enthusiasm.
Right.
Him jump roping with the kids in PE. That was just dope. Double dutching.
Yeah.
Even the vice principal, who they butted heads constantly, they started getting along.
Right.
Everybody was buying into this new East Side High, because what'd he say? East Side High, our mascot are ghosts. And what do ghosts do? They raise from the dead,
Yeah.
So
and he even got cool. He even got back cool with Mr. Darnell, man. After all that, the table flip, bro. You flip my table over in my office, it's over with, dog.
Oh yeah, man.
It showed it was bigger than them and their ego. It's about them students at the end of the day, man. And how many lives you can change, or like give them a different thing to look at. To say, okay, I can strive for this. I can actually do this. Versus, oh no, that don't never happen. You know what I'm saying? Where I come from, people like me don't do that. No, I'm showing you a different way. Look, you can do this.
Yeah.
But hey, it's powerful, man.
So I want to show the audience out there one classic scene, one that I love, and I'm sure LaMarcus loves it too. So here we go.
Sing hands to help increase the fame. Ooh, Lord, the honor, yeah.
Hey man, that was one of my all-time favorites, man. I wish I could hit one of them high notes, man. Yeah. But even in that part, go ahead, brother.
Well, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
But like that right there, that was a turning point. Him embracing change, but change in a good way, because he felt that the school, since he's implementing all this change, hell, let the students implement some change too, and that's what they did. Change the school song.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know, man. And then I think he got rid of the choir teacher, didn't he?
Yeah, man. She didn't want to get on board, man.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want the students to learn the school song, like right then there, because she had like some kind of big concert in New York that they go to every year, and she wasn't having it.
Right.
And she was basically being defiant,
Yeah.
Like I said, my thing is, if it was working so well before he got there, then there would be no need for Mr. Clark.
Right.
But we saw their labor. We saw the fruits of their labor.
Right.
Graffiti everywhere, kids skipping school, kids smoking weed, kids smoking cigarettes in general. Man, but I love how like he turned it around.
Oh yeah. And you gotta think about it, man. You had people on the administration that was dealing drugs, man.
Wait, okay. So
there's a scene in the movie where my man coming into the school,
with a suit.
man. Yeah. So my thing is, if he didn't work there, man, he would have dipped out after he dropped it off, man. He went right back into the school, man.
Okay, wait, okay. Is that the part where the dude who beat up Kid Ray, he opened the door and some dude in a suit came?
Yeah.
He was a teacher?
It could have been, man. I'm gonna just
Okay, yeah,
say he
you're
was a
right.
teacher.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. But I mean, think about it too. You in Patterson, New Jersey, man. What was this 88, 89?
Yep.
Man, bro.
That's when crack was at the height.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
you're
know,
right.
man.
You're right. You know what? Because they probably intended to show a depiction of what a high-end drug dealer looks like with the suit on.
Uh,
But the guy that we saw, he didn't fit the description. He could very well have been a school administrator,
yeah.
you know,
So, I mean,
or some
so
kind of
that-
businessman. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, man. But like I said, classic movie, man. Hey, anytime it's on, man, I try to sit down and watch it when I got the time, man. But just this is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man. So there you have it, folks. The Rocket City Network. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we out. Yeah.